Hey guys, what is up? We are back. It's been a minute. It's always been a minute, but we are trying our best to be more consistent with the uploads. But for the last few weeks, I've been redoing my portfolio and really thinking about what works, what doesn't work, what systems we're using to make our work organized, to make our work clean, to make our work better. So that has been a process for me, and I'm going to share my Squarespace tips and journey and go over my new website with you, because I feel like a very hard obstacle I faced after graduating was like, okay, I went to art school, now how do I show myself to the world? And that's something most people aren't good at, or they aren't taught in school. So I've been through trial and error, and I've had a pretty fun internship experience. I've been learning how to market myself and make a more clean and consistent portfolio of who I am and what I want to show the world. And I'm just gonna go over that and go over my tips to make yourself a better artist, have a better website, and just, be better moving forward in the future and have a good system of design and organization so you could have a fire website moving forward. So we're just gonna get into it. I'm gonna go over some Squarespace tips, and then at the end, I'm gonna give a little tour of my website and my processes behind it. So if you want, stick around because we're gonna get into that. Cool, let's do it. Before we get anywhere, before we look at a Squarespace, before we look at a Wix, before we do anything, we need to get organized. This is a problem a lot of people have, but moving forward to the future, we're going to name our files, we're going to date our files, they're going to be organized and clear and have a system that works for you. So I'm going to go over the system that works for me. So to start off, we have our folder. It holds all of our amazing ideas, our projects, our hopes, our dreams. Everything is in the folder. That is the top of our hierarchy. We need to just start there. No more just throwing everything in one place. We need organization. And how do we get there, you ask? Well, from our folder, we spawn more folders. So the hierarchy that I like to use is program name. So Photoshop. There we go. Everything that has to do with Photoshop is in Photoshop. Amazing. Cool. And then we break it down into a smaller hierarchy. So we got our program name, Photoshop, our project name, Squarespace video thumbnail, and then we're gonna have a working file, which is like all of the files you're using, like assets, anything of that nature, images. Everything you're working on is going to be in the working file. So if you ever need to go back and tweak and edit or do anything of that nature, it's in the working file. The exports is the finished projects, revisions, rounds, all of that is in the exports folder. And then final is going to have your final project and the project file. So when you're looking through your work and you're like, oh my God, I need this project, where is it? You go to program name of the project, your final, or if you need to tweak it, you go to working, or if you want to see a revision, you go to exports. I reorganized my entire portfolio, all my work. I named it clearly. Please name your work clearly. No slapping the keyboard and saving it, because if you have an organized portfolio, it's the way to go. You could clearly look for something, see when you made something, you'll have a name, a date, and the type of program it's in, and all of your work will be there all in one spot instead of it just being all over the place. So I took the time to go over the last 5 years of work and rename everything, organize everything. It was a very tedious project and process, but we got it done. Organization is key. So you're gonna wanna organize your files, and then once you organize your files, you could really distill what you want to put on your website and what works for you and how you want to present yourself. So after I organized all my files, I went and made a website folder, because you don't want to be making your site and being confused or thinking about what you want to put on there while you're coding, creating, doing all of that. You want to have a clear vision of what you're working towards before you even code a line or edit something on Squarespace. So I thought about what elements I wanted to show on my website, like motion graphics, photo, video, all of that. And then I made separate folders and copied the work from my hierarchy and organization and put them all in the separate folders so I could see visually and what I want to put on my website. So I just went and cleared those up and really laid it out of what I want to put going on my website. So once you got a clean, organized workspace, it leaves you more room to have a clear, organized website. because that's what we want to do. We want to be better artists. We want to be organized. It's a great thing. I struggled with it throughout college, but moving forward, it is going to help you in the long run, because where I am interning, they have a very, very organized file structure, and I would come in and my projects would be a mess, and they're like, hey, you're gonna need to clean this up, because moving forward, if someone else opens this, if you want to open this in a few years, you might not know what's going on. So I've been personally trying to be better at that, and I just want to help you have a cleaner hard drive, because you don't want to have files everywhere. So that is our first tip, is be organized, be clean, and it will help you move forward to the next step. Now we're gonna go over our next tip, which is hosting your website somewhere or having a DIY website. So junior year, you have to go up for advanced standing, or sophomore year in the new media program where I went to school, and you have to code your own website from scratch. That was something that is very hard for me. Like, I know my way around like HTML and CSS, but doing it from scratch and making it presentable on your mobile, on your computer, on someone's laptop, it's a lot of work that goes into that. Moving away from advanced standing, I definitely didn't want to be coding my website every time. If I make new work, I don't want to be updating the code. I just want it to exist and I don't have to worry about it. So over the years, I've used Wix for one of my programs I did at school. I worked at the radio station and we used Wix. That's fine and dandy. It got the job done, but there's not a lot of depth to it. It's very flat and not up to the times of what web design looks like and what portfolios look like. And then also there's an artist website called Cargo Collective, and I use that for my senior portfolio and like the last year. And it's very artistic, very art driven, very out there, and very advanced. And it's very visually appealing, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, there's not a lot of elements for you to change, for you to work with, to you to tweak to your own understanding. So I moved away from Cargo, and then I really like hellllooooo and their videos, and they did a whole Squarespace rebranding video for their website. Shout out Kel, they're great. And then I wanted to switch to some platform that makes more sense to me. So if Squarespace wants to run me a check or anything, feel free to hit my line, because this is your free promo, Squarespace. I got you right here. But I will be using Squarespace, and I just think it is the cleanest UI to use. The elements you're allowed to change are very free. You could tweak a template a million ways and really make it stand out and be your own unique website, your portfolio. It could be very you. So that's what I like, is because you're selling yourself in your portfolio. So the best way to sell yourself is to tweak it the way you want. So using Squarespace, I chose that because it really made the most sense to me. So just a quick run over of Squarespace. It allows you to search by template, like if you want to do photography, you want to have a business, you want to do design, you want to make a portfolio, you could go and look at all the amazing Squarespace templates, and you could even preview them and see what's happening inside and what the pages look like, and you could really look and see what fits best for you and how you want to present yourself, or you could do it from scratch. After looking through, I found this Zion template, and I really, really liked it, and I like the homepage and the layout of the images on each page. So it's very clean, very to the point. That's something that I want to work with. I just want my work to exist, and it's clean for the viewer to see. I don't want any like crazy animations or CSS or anything that will distract you from my work, because I want the work to stand for itself. I don't need any smoke and mirrors, crazy website effects to get to my client future job. I just want it to be clean and exist. So you could go over the Squarespace templates and really look into what works best for you and find a template that speaks to your heart. And then once you pick your template, you could add the CSS, the HTML, the font, you could change the background color, you could add pages, you could remove pages, you could make pages your own and remix them. That is what's the best about Squarespace, and it really works well for me. And they show you what it looks like in mobile, that you could have a responsive website so it gets bigger or smaller depending on what screen you're looking at. And I just think that it is the best platform for me right now, and I will vouch for it right now. So Squarespace, if you want to use me as some promo, hit my line. Anyways, back to the video. Next tip. For the third tip, we're going to be talking about personal branding and your digital voice and your artistic voice. So this is something that I struggled with, is I put everything I ever did in the past 5 years on my website. I'm like, look at me, I could do it all. It's amazing. I could do web, I could do sound, I could do all of this. But it gets a little overwhelming, and you only want the best things to stand out on your website. So you want to cut back and think about who you are as a person and what you want to show your client or your future employer. So I cut down a lot of my work and just put the best of the best of what I wanted. So I have a few videos, motion graphics, I took sound out, I took web out, and I sort of moshed them into interactive design stuff because that's like the realm I'm working in, and what I like to do is make some interactive work. So I streamlined my website and the type of categories there are and made it cleaner, and I put my best work out there. And then something else you want to think about is the typography, your name, your logo, all of that stuff, because that is how people are going to be viewing you when you're on your website, because they're not going to see your face, your voice. The message you make is going to be your visual message. So I was playing around with fonts, and like if I wanted my artist name to be Fluffytriforce, if I wanted to have quirky fonts or clean fonts or fonts that are in wingdings, I don't know. I was just playing around because I think having a clear logo, a clear typeface for your personal work is very important. So I chose Degular, which is in Typekit, and they also you could use Typekit with Squarespace, which is awesome. So I have Degular font on my website, and then my name, logo, trademark thingy, Alex Giorgio, is now in Degular, which has a lot of weights and varying forms of the font. So I think that worked really well, and I was just playing around with that. And then a big thing is I like to make work that makes people happy, and I wanted to use a happy face as my favicon and in my branding. So we got new font. You could also make yourself a pictorial logo, or just have your name in just a fun font, or have a GIF. There's endless opportunities for you to express yourself, and you could also implement them into your website. So I just use this typography as the type across my website on all the pages, and then I use it as my personal branding with my name. I thought about that for a while because how you present yourself on your website is how the world is going to see you. So you just want to have clean work, you want your voice to stand out, and it's very important to have those elements mesh together, because no one's going to see your personality unless you show it on your website, because no one's going to hear your voice. They might not get to your cover letter. You need the work to stand for itself, and you need to have a nice personal brand to show the world, because you're great. I know you're great, and you should also show the world that you're great. So that's my third tip, is have a good brand and show the work you want to be hired for. Please show the work you want to be hired for. Don't show everything. Like, cool, you have 100 gifts, but show your top 10 gifts, and maybe someone will see, wow, this person really makes strong work. Let me hire them. Let me shoot them an email. That's something I work towards, was to streamline it to be the best version of myself that I could show the world. So, personal branding, key to having a good website. So for my website tour, I'm just going to go over my thought process behind every page and everything that's going on. So for my homepage, I really just wanted all my work to be right there. As soon as you click on my link or want to view my website, it's everything that I'm proud of, and it has a video which adds a dynamic element to the website instead of it just being like a static image or like a few pictures. It's everything moving, grooving. It shows the best in my portfolio, everything I love right on the homepage. We got the logo I made in Illustrator with the Degular font at the top left, and we have a clean navigation bar at the top, which is on every single page. So also a hierarchy of how you want to position your work on your nav bar is important, because people usually click left to right, and whatever you want to be hired for or what you're strongest in, you want to put at the leftmost corner, whatever the first thing is of your menu. So I've been doing a bunch of motion work, so I like to make motion, and I want to make live visuals and things move. So that's what I wanted to put at the front. And then moving on, we have the other tabs. So going through like the motion tab, I just have GIFs of all of the work moving and grooving on the page. There's no information about it, no didactics. The work is there, you could look at it. Same for photo. I just have a nice layout of all the photos, the things I'm most proud of at the top, and a little more at the bottom. And same for design, we just have the layout the same way with a bunch of design work. And then for video, I have a lot of videos, but I try to tend to not put the video art stuff because I want to do more music videos, more like ads, more stuff of that nature. So we got the video on the left, and then we have the didactic on the right, because sometimes visual work people could just see at a glance, but videos and interactive projects really can't convey it the same way. So I had to add the didactic if someone wants to read about it on the right-hand side. And then moving towards interactive and physical, I made GIFs of all the projects because someone really can't exist in the space again. It happened. I have okay documentation. Document your work better. If it's a real project, do a better job than I did. So we have GIFs of the projects moving, and then a very in-depth didactic. Things that live on the web like tiny worlds and the soundscapes you could look at and view and actually look at the project. Otherwise, just motion with a nice didactic about the project. And then show of hands is where I really popped off because that was my senior project, and it still lives on, which is awesome. It has over 1 million impressions, which is a slight flex, but a fun flex. And I popped off, and that has like a major didactic, all of the work. You can use the QR codes to go to it, the video, it has everything going on show of hands. So that is its own page. And I just kind of condensed the web and like sound work into interactive projects because I like to do more of that and not just straight up sound art or web design. But like if you need me, I'll make you a Squarespace website. And then the about page, I really made it stand out. It has my photo, and then it has links right to my resume. It has the about, and it has links to my socials and my emails. You can reach me wherever you want to reach me. And that's the alexgiorgio.me spiel. So this took like most of July of procrastinating and getting it done, but the website always lives on. You could always update it and change it, but I'm really happy to the point that it is at now because it feels good. And then if I ever need to change anything, this is a very easy spot to change it from, which is an issue I had previously working with other platforms. I just go into Squarespace, add an image, add a video, make it happen, update my work, and I think this is gonna be a nice home for the future of me and my work. So I hope you guys learned something new today, and if you guys make an awesome Squarespace website or send me your portfolio, I would love to see it. I love to see other artists' work, anyone up and coming. I love to see other artists because it's a great big world out there, and I just like to see the community that we're a part of. So I hope you learned something new. If you did, leave me a comment or hit the like button. That always helps. But I will see you guys in 2 weeks. We're going to be back to our regularly scheduled uploads. We got something fun in the works. And all in all, it's just a fun tutorial info video about where I'm at and how we're going to move forward in this world of new media and creativity. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Awesome. Peace.